Welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lesson 86. These ideas are for review today. 71. Only God's plan for salvation will work. It is senseless for me to search wildly about for salvation. I have seen it in many people and in many things, but when I reached for it, it was not there. I was mistaken about where it is. I was mistaken about what it is. I will undertake no more idol seeking. Only God's plan for salvation will work. And I will rejoice because his plan can never fail. I love that the certainty of God and his plan and how it cannot fail, and how we all came to this place because the ego's plan is seek and don't find. And we all, as the prodigal son, beat ourselves senseless against a brick wall, thinking that we could somehow find love, find light, find truth in the senseless. Like you were mentioning in the previous lesson, we're trying to make meaningful out of the meaningless, the illogical, the chaotic. Yeah, so we're ready to find the truth where it really is. This is good news. These are some suggested forms for applying this idea specifically. God's plan for salvation will save me in this. This is no exception in God's plan for my salvation. Let me perceive this only in the light of God's plan for salvation. So there's a way out. There is a way. There is an answer. There is something there that will meet the need, where no one loses, where there's perfect harmony, perfect health, perfect abundance. God's will is in operation right where the problem is boasting itself. But when I turn within and acknowledge, the light that's in my mind, the innocence that's in my mind, these problems will dissolve. They'll disappear in that light.
Right, but we have to remember our function every time we're triggered, blinded, right?
Yes.
Which is forgiveness.
Yes, forgiving ourselves for the belief in the problem to begin with, because it's only a symbol of separation. Thank you, sis.
And it's the ego that's doing it, right? It's the ego. We have to start even this early in the lessons, start making that positive separation between the ego and what we are as the Son of God, as the Christ, the Holy Self, right? And yeah, otherwise, if we really believe we are the ego, then we're also going to believe that we need to solve the problems, right?
Yes.
We need to do, I as an ego need to forgive myself, the ego.
Yeah.
But then I'm still responsible
for
solving the problem.
That's exactly.
Or I'm still responsible for the guilt that's there.
It's up to me to fix this, to save myself, to fix the problem, I'm going to forgive. That's the ego wanting to forgive. I'm forgiving myself for having given this image any credibility at all, and then hands off the wheel. Only the Holy Self, Holy Spirit, can reveal to me what's really there. Coreen cannot know. Coreen was made not to know. So only in my complete surrender of, I got caught on this one, right? I believed it, and I got invested in solving it, and I was off to the races. Whoa, pull up, hold it, hold it, hold it. This is only an image of separation. It's in my mind and nowhere else, and I'm going to forgive it and accept atonement, listen and wait for the answer to be given. That's God's plan for salvation. Thanks, sis. Thanks for the reminder.
You're welcome.
Okay, 72. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Oh boy. Holding grievances. is an attempt to prove that God's plan for salvation will not work. Yet only his plan will work. By holding grievances, I am therefore excluding my only hope of salvation from my awareness. I would no longer defeat my own best interests in this insane way. I would accept God's plan for salvation and be happy. Wow. Anybody done forgiveness, accepted atonement, and the problem has not seemed to resolve? Is there a deliciousness in still holding on to some grievance to make a brother wrong, or to employ a spiritualized ego so that it can be part of a solution and prove what it knows, or that it's going to be helpful to God's plan for salvation? Only his plan will work. If I'm holding on to this grievance and I'm refusing to forgive it, I'm excluding myself from the only hope I have of true salvation and happiness. What do you want?
Comes down to that choice, doesn't it?
Yes.
What do we really want?
Yeah. Am I in competition with God, or do I want to be happy and surrender to his will, to his plan?
Yeah.
Specific applications might be in these forms. I am choosing between misperception and salvation as I look on this. I love that, because there's, again, no gray area. We're either looking through the ego filter or we're viewing with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
If I see grounds for grievances in this, I will not see the grounds for my salvation. This calls for salvation, not attack. What were you going to say, sis?
Yeah. If I see grounds for grievances in this, I will not see the grounds for my salvation. So they're mutually exclusive. Like you said before, there's no gray area. Mm-hmm. Is there?
No. You can't hang out in, this third option. Yeah. And be safe. It's one or the other, because all there is present is the kingdom of heaven. The only will there is God's will. It gets very tempting to get caught in there's this world and there's this world. No, there's one world, and you're either experiencing it through the distortion, or you've forgiven the distorted lens, the ego's filter, and you're experiencing with true perception. That's it. That's the only choice. It's always here. You're either got a filter where you're not experiencing it truly, or you've forgiven it and you are having that direct experience.
Very good, sis. Thank you.
So grievances are that filter. Let them go. Anything else?
No.
Lesson 86, guys. We're rocking. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you in a minute.